Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 3 of What If Naruto Opened the Gate of Alchemy and Awaken all the abilities. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also guys, remember to stay in tune for the rest of what if's coming your way over an Anime King 2 and Anime King 3. If you're new, yes, you heard that correctly. I indeed have 3 channels, Anime King, Anime King 2, and Anime King 3, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family, and thank you for all of your help and your support. And yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last time we left off, Naruto was within the office of Harrison. As Harrison was in there, along with Hibachi, as Naruto sat down as he told him what Ed think that he did. After he opened the gate, as he got the abilities of this 7, loss, empathy. As he got their abilities, he went on to explain to them which one he did not get. But because of Ed's memories, he found it really hard not hating these people even though he did not know them, as he had to separate some of Ed's memories from his. But he did tell them everything that he got. As Harrison realized that Naruto could no longer attend the academy, as he was going in a different league entirely. So, he decided to turn Naruto into an alchemist of Konoha that would report directly to him, being the Hokage. But he needed a partner. It didn't matter if they just stay out there and watch. He needed someone to watch his back, and he had to train first. So Harrison decided to keep a tournament as he spread the news. Some time passed as Osama was surprised to hear that, as he had came back from the royal daimyo's court after being a part of the daimyo's guard. As Naruto showed him what he could do as he created a statue of the man. As he used the earth, he could switch substance, Harrison told him, as Osama was surprised by that technique. As Ed was running away from little Konohamaru that was trying to eat him. Some time passed as the tournament started, as everyone was there. A lot of people were there to attend, as they were ready to see what this new mission entailed. As they show their skills to Naruto by fighting against one another. As Naruto took notes of everything that he saw. Some of the people included Uncle Mirashi, Hana Inuzaka, Ibiki Marino, Itachi Uchiha, even Shikoku was here. He was just trying to sneak away from his wife who was angry, and he ended up in the tournament. As Naruto selected 8 of them out of the few that fight. As they move on to the second phase. As Naruto also selected Hibachi with her medical skills, but she told him that she would not fight, so he created a golem. But something was wrong. The golem was acting and talking like he was actually there, and not to mention, he was about to use alchemy until Naruto stopped him. It turns out that he was Al. Somehow Naruto was able to pull his soul, and Al accepted the pull and now he was here. As Naruto apologized, he never meant to do that, but Al told him that he was okay, as he wanted to see his brother again. And he now saw Naruto as a brother, as he reminded him so much of Ed. So with that, they returned back, as Al faced off against the members. He got destroyed, but Naruto put him back together, as he pretended to go through hand signs. But the hand signs really didn't do anything. It was just a way to hide his alchemy, as he slapped his hands together. As Hana faced off against Al, with her 3 Ninken, she brought Al down rather quickly. As Naruto forbade Al from using any alchemy, he just wanted to see where the team stacked up. Well, she had caught Naruto's attention, definitely. So yeah guys, so basically that's what left off. You guys can switch across the place and check over yourself. Remember to share all of your friends in social media platform, and yeah, let's get straight into this new episode guys. Winner, Hana Inuzaka. As Hana pumped her fist in the air, as her dogs returned back to their dog's form. As she walked and gave Naruto a wink before she passed him. As Naruto dragged the shattered remains of Al to the side. Brother, just one more Al, said Naruto. Let me make sure I have all the pieces. She really shredded you. It reminds me of the time that Scar blew me up, said Al. Hold on, said Naruto as he made his way back to the arena. As he started to collect shards and splinters. As Naruto checked the arena floor. What's wrong, Naruto? Asked Hiruzen. I missed a couple pieces of Al. I need them before I can fix him properly. Hana came back out in the field. Sorry about that, she said, as she decided to help him look for the pieces. It's okay. One of the reasons I have you all fighting Al, I can fix him without the effort, said Naruto, as she helped him find them. I think that is all of it, said Naruto. Excuse me, as he moved towards Al. Give me a minute, Al, he said. Impressive ability, Naruto-kun. As a voice was behind him, Naruto turned. Oh, hey Itachi-san, he said. How are you doing, said Naruto. My squad's been on downtime since Sparrow. Have been laid down for a surgery. I heard that you were badly injured, yet you seem fine, Itachi said. Naruto shrugged. Ebachi-bachan is a miracle worker. Itachi was standing behind him and it was making Naruto a bit nervous. A fascinating jutsu. May I inquire how it is performed? As Naruto's eyes went wide, as his back was turned to Itachi. It's a part of Naruto's bloodline, as Hiruzen interjected. Only usable by Naruto and his family. Sadly, they died in Kyuubi attack. Naruto breathed a sigh of relief as he clapped his hands together, as he touched the armor. A white flashed, and the armor was repaired. Itachi narrowed his eyes as Naruto's back was turned to him, as he didn't see any hand signs, but that didn't look like any sort of bloodline. I will return to the wall then. Naruto, Lord Hokage, said above as he walked off. As Naruto shared a look with the Hokage, the both of them thinking the same thing. He's not gonna be my partner. He's not gonna be your partner. Al got back up. I don't like that man, he said. Me either, said Naruto. The whole copy-eyed thing freaked me out, said Naruto, as he turned to see Kurenai in the field. Good luck, Al. Do I have to fight her, Al asked. She looks, Al. Fine, I'm going. But if she get mad at me, it's your fault. Are you ready, Kurenai? Here's an axe at Chunin. Yes, Hokage-sama, she said, as Naruto liked her red eyes. Fight, Hiruzen said. Kurenai went through a hand sign before she came to a stop, as she stood there waiting as Al looked around. Before he rushed towards her, she looked rather surprised as Al attacked her as she dodged. Did she do something, said Naruto, as he looked towards the old man. Kurenai is gifted in the field of Kenjutsu. Apparently she tried one on your golem, and it had no effect. Naruto nodded as he watched the woman pull out kunais and send them towards armor, as they were knocked away. As Al caught a few of them and threw them back towards her, as she leaped out of the way. She moved in as she drove an uppercut into the armor. She winced as she jumped back. She's not physically strong like the others, said Naruto, as he made a note on his pad. Yeah, but I bet she's an animal in the sack. As Naruto glanced towards Ed that was on his shoulder, as he finger flicked him into the wall. Kurenai surrendered as Al's fist stopped right in front of her face. As Hibachi moved in and checked her out. You cracked your hand pretty good, dear. Remember to use chakra to envelop your hands and feet. Sorry, said Kurenai. As Al came over. Tell her I'm sorry, he said to Naruto. You're still a big softy, Al, said Ed. As Al patted Ed on the head. And you're still smaller than I am. Ed leaped forward as he shredded the armor. Later, Al, said Naruto, as he cancelled Soul Shard. Bring him back and let me show him who's small, said Ed. As Naruto took the list and handed it to Hiruzen, ignoring Ed. As Hiruzen looked over the notes. You sure, he said. Yeah, said Naruto. As Hiruzen looked forward toward the gathered Chunin, Jonin, and Anbu captains. Naruto has picked the finals. They are Anko, Midarashi, and Hana Inuzaka. Anko and Hana looked towards each other in surprise. As Naruto hopped up on the balcony railing. What the hell, Brat, Anko said. It's who I think I can work with, said Naruto. While Kurenai is skilled in her field, I need someone that can work the board. And I won't have to worry about as I get my ass kicked, he thought to himself. As Ibiki nodded and left, as well did the clan leader of the Nara clan. As Kernai patted him on the shoulder before she left. As Hayate coughed, "Come to me, if you wish to learn about swords," he said, as he coughed one more time. As Naruto nodded to the man. Itachi was not moving. It seems he was surprised that he was not named. "Yes, Itachi, here's an axe." "Did I perform below expectations, Hokage-sama?" asked Itachi. "No, above and beyond all of you. But Naruto does not feel like your style would work well with his. And I agree as well. As removing you from Anfu would not be worth the time, and your skills would be needed," Itachi said. Hana draw back Naruto's attention towards her and uncle. "So, why us?" "As I said, it comes down to your skills, and who I think I can work with, and who I can trust. Personality clashes on our jobs would get us both killed. I know that Ibiki is talented, but I doubt that we would work well on the field together." Hayate-san seems sickly. I'm not sure if that's an act or what, but he's limited in his own way. And Kernai, Uncle asks. While she's skilled in her field of genjutsu physically, she's not ready for the task that the old man will give us. Both you and Hana here are rough and ready, and will be more flexible if we come to the task of getting dirty. Uncle snorted. I always told Nai-chan that her pripsy looks and ways will keep her off the job. So because we don't mind getting bloody, dirty, and our talent, she asks. As Naruto nodded. What about her looks, she said, as she zipped down her jacket. As Naruto had to fight himself physically, so that blood wouldn't rush from his nose. Underneath she was just wearing a fishnet shirt, and nothing under that. Back up, Uncle. He's only 8 for comedy's sake, Hana said. But it won't be that way forever, Uncle said, teasing Naruto as she saw him getting all red. As he turned to pick up Ed. I like that one, said Ed. Once the arena door were closed, Harrison looked towards the two remaining women. We'll take a few more moments for you guys to get dressed up, said Harrison, as both women went over to the side. As Harrison came over that small smirk, blushing Naruto, he asked. Careful, old man, said Naruto. You know I will get even. Harrison mentally shuddered as he remembered Naruto's pranking abilities from before. And not to mention with his new ability to transfigure things. Oh shit, Harrison thought, as he decided not to antagonize the blonde. As the girls were given proper time to rest. Ladies, once they were done finished resting up, the match will begin now until myself, or Naruto calls it. As both girls nodded. No dogs, Uncle asked. No snakes, Hana said. Maybe later. Taijutsu first, said Uncle. While the both of them were at different rank, Naruto could tell that the both of them were quite skilled. As Naruto watched carefully until he saw. Well, was that an ass cheek, he thought to himself. Yo, Naruto, you gotta pay that Uncle check, said Ed as he sat on Naruto's shoulder. As Naruto's finger flicked him away once again. As he watched the two girls fight, chops, kicks, knees, elbows, fists ranging from high to low. Very good, said Naruto, as Uncle broke out of Hana's hold and delivered a swift kick to her jaw. They draw their kunai as they clash, metal hitting metal. As Hana jumped away as she performed genjutsu, Uncle flared her chakra, just in time as she had to move out of the way as a kunai dropped where she once was. She landed in a sweeping motion. Instantly, Hana charged as her fists started to connect against one another as they block and dodge. The both of them knocked each other before they flipped back, as Uncle bit her finger as she went through hand sign. Summoning jutsu, she said, as a dozen cobras rushed towards Hana. Contain her, said Uncle, as Hana threw shurikens as she rushed towards the pillar to get away from the snakes. You want to play this game? Fine, she said. She pulled her scroll as she went through hand sign, summoning jutsu, as her dogs poofed into the arena and ripped apart the remaining snakes before Hana tossed them each a pill. Beast human clone, she said, as all of them transformed. Uncle started to back off. Hana, my friend, you know I didn't mean those loose comments at the bar last week, right? The four of them snarled. Oh shit, Uncle said. Quadruple piercing fang. Uncle tried to sunshine away, but she was clipped as she was knocked around rather viciously, slamming right into the wall. As they were still coming towards her, striking shadow snakes as snakes emerged from her sleeve, rushing towards them. Naruto winced as he saw the bang as Uncle missed the real Hana. The dogs were all captured in the shadow snakes, but Hana had slammed right into Uncle until Uncle poof smoke then filled the arena. As Naruto stepped back, "What's that? Stink bombs," said Sarutobi. When the smoke cleared away, there was no 5 Hana in the ring. Good idea," said Ed. "What's going on?" said Naruto. "She used a smoke bomb to hide her transformation jutsu. She used a stink bomb to cut off the smell of the dogs and Hana. That's a smart tactic," said Naruto to himself. "Hana won't attack in fear of hurting one of her own neither. With her dogs, this gave Uncle some time to rest up and plan. A really good tactic." As the 5 Hanas looked at one another, not knowing which one was the real one, until one of the Hanas moved, the real Hana, and struck another one, poof. As one of the triplets dropped, "Shit," shouted Hana. As she spun to look at the remaining 3. "Nice idea, Uncle, but this ends now." She dismissed the dogs back to the stroll, and it left 2 Hanas. As Uncle flipped back, she tossed shurikens. As her transformation dispelled, returned her back to normal. As she dodged as they once more engaged in a taijutsu fight. "They're both incredibly skilled," said Naruto. Both women clashed until they started to tire until Uncle was viciously hit by Hana. But Uncle feet came up at the last moment and slammed right into Hana's face, launching them into opposite walls as they knock each other out. "A draw," said Ed in surprise. Hiruzen said, surprised by the outcome, as Hibachi made her way down there to check on the girls. "So, what have you decided?" asked Hiruzen. "I got an idea," said Naruto, "but I figure you got one as well." "Perhaps," Hiruzen said, as he watched Hibachi tend to the girls. "You are aware that Konoha is famous for its 3-man cells, correct?" As Naruto nodded, Ed started to smile as he saw where this was going. "Then I am suggesting take both of them as your partner." As Naruto looked at him surprised. "Isn't that a waste of resources? I mean, I might not be ready for a few years," said Naruto. "True," Hiruzen said, "but I have an idea." Hours later, both women were in the Hokage's office. "As a special unit, you answer only to me," Hiruzen said. "I thought this was only for one of us," Hana asked in confusion. "Yeah, what does this mean?" Uncle asked. "You 3 will learn to work together, and Naruto will train, and when he's ready, you will be sent on missions. So we'll have to sit around until a kid. Get ready?" "No, you both will be trained as well, and there are duties that the 3 of you will be doing as well." Uncle eyes narrowed. "I will not be doing any D-rank missions," she said. "Neither I," Hana said. No D ranks. The 3 of you will be doing C ranks until Naruto trained up his skills, and then we will see from there." As Hiruzen lit up his pipe. "So what's the kid so good at that he gets to skip the academy?" Uncle asked. "With the power that Naruto possesses, it will make him nearly equal to everyone in and without the village. His taijutsu is already well above what they teach in the academy, including his memory, and the army of clones that he can use. Sending him there would be a waste of time. I've marked him on the rolls as Konoha Special Genin, but his title is actually Konoha Alchemist. When the time comes, he will be ranked accordingly, and the both of you will be named Jonin. And like Naruto, you will be given Sannin level travel rights. No matter what, the 3 of you answer to only me and the next Hokage." Uncle eyes widened. Sannin travel rights? She couldn't believe it. "There will be a monthly budget for the 3 of you. I would like to set up a base for you," Hiruzen said. "Wait till I'm trained, old man," said Naruto, as he shared a look with Ed. "Once I'm done, then fine." As Hiruzen realized that Naruto didn't want to abandon the den that he found just yet, as he nodded. "So as of this moment, I congratulate you all on your new team, and look to see what you all will do in the future," he said. Time skip. 8 years later. The 16-year-old Naruto Uzumaki looked into the disaster of what used to be an inn. The past 8 years have changed him, as he was now 16 years old. He has grown a bit taller, as he had to readjust his auto male arm each time. He was wearing black pants and a shirt under a black trench coat. Ed complained about him losing the red one on a mission, but Naruto told him that it drew too much attention. Coming from a guy that used to wear orange, that really says a lot how much he has changed. His hair has grown longer, as it was now tied into a ponytail going into his back. His headband was loosely tied around his neck like a collar. Aren't you a bit young to be an investigator? The innkeeper asked. As Naruto ignored him as he looked towards the damage behind him, Uncle was telling off the innkeeper. You say there were two of them, Naruto asked. Yes, sir. Speak as you please. They weren't too bright, but they wiped out all of my customers. As Naruto saw a foot indent in the wall. It's them. The Bash brothers were here, he said, as he glanced towards Uncle. The who? Han and Cho Bash, said Naruto to the innkeeper. Twins that are gifted with impervious skin and strength, that are said to be close to the legendary Sannin Tsunade. I thought they were in a hidden stone prison, Uncle said, as she saw Naruto looking at something. His gloved hand touched it, as she saw him frown. What is it, Uncle asked. I'm not 100% sure enough to say. Where's Hana, he asked her. She's sniffing out the trail that they left. As Naruto got up as he started to move towards the door. Hey, what about my inn? The innkeeper yelled at them. Uncle glanced over her shoulder. File your insurance claim like everyone else, she said, as she followed the blonde down the street. They caught up with Hana. At the edge of town, the Heimer triplets were pacing back in front, as Ed was on Hana's shoulder. They aren't hard to track. They're leading a trail that a blind person could follow, as their teammates arrive. As the both of them hadn't changed that much, they have grown though. As Naruto just saw them as more beautiful, well, in his opinion. That worries me, said Naruto, as Ed jumped toward his shoulder. Why? Ed asked. There was a powder back at the inn. If it is what I think it is, those two are more dangerous, said Naruto. What did you find? Hana asked him, as Naruto held up a vial of the sample that he collected, as he passed it to Hana. She uncorked it, as she took a sniff, before she jerked her head back quickly. Sin, Hana shouted. If they're stuffed up on that, it's gonna be 100 times harder to stop them, said Uncle. This stuff is bad. It appeared around 2 years ago. As Naruto sighed, vote time. Do we chase those two guys that are hopped up on Sin before they cross the border, or do we go and report back to the old man? As Uncle was bouncing her heels, as she wanted to go after the Bash brothers. As Hana looked at the trail. I do not like to let the trail go cold, she said. Alright, said Naruto, but if I wake up in the hospital once again, you both are wearing nurse outfit. Hana laughed as Uncle slapped him on the back. That's the spirit runt. Time skip. They enter the rock valley. This screams ambush, said Naruto. As Hana looked around, the trail was leading them right to an ambush, she could sense it. Uncle snorted though. The Bash brothers aren't that bright, and they're hopped up on Sin. That means someone else is in charge. Hana came to a stop, the trail vanished here. As Naruto shook his head. I told you guys. Ambush, he said. No sooner than he said that, two massive boulders were tossed from above, coming down towards them. The three of them moved to the way, as he heard a cackle coming from above. As Naruto glanced up, Mizuki. How the hell did he get out? Uncle said. 2 years ago they had caught him trying to steal the forbidden scroll from the Hokage's office. A short battle where Mizuki tried to tell Naruto about the Kyuubi got a chuckle out of all three of them, as Naruto then proceeded to beat him down with taijutsu. He then used his alchemy to bind his hands, and they brought him back to the village. We meet again, Kyuubi brat, said Mizuki. The Bash brothers stood on either side of him. How did you get out of prison? Naruto asked. I killed the guard when he brought me dinner. Met up with these two at the border, as he pointed towards Han and Cho. Why did you come back to land of fire? You could have run anywhere else, said Naruto. Tch, I'll rule this country from the shadows. There's a serious lack of criminal activity here, said Mizuki. Then I guess we'll have to bring you down once again, said Naruto. Mizuki laughed. You got lucky last time, kid. Besides, you can't take all three of us. Cho and Han laughed as Naruto saw their eyes diluted. They're stoned out of their mind on Sin, Naruto thought. Uncle, Hana. Yeah, Uncle said, we got Dumb and Dumber. Don't mess around with the team there, she said. Yeah, we'll tango with them until we get it back and tag, said Hana. Naruto nodded as the two girls moved. Mizuki leaped towards Naruto, as Naruto dropped into a stance. Let's dance. As the Bash brothers jumped as they started to slit down the small scope, as they had gauntlets on their arms with spike on it. Hana and Uncle had learned how to work together, well, for over 8 years now. The triplets were the first one to jump in, as Uncle summoned several sneaks for support. Both women avoided the swipe of the gauntlets as Hannah held out her hand as Uncle grabbed her wrist and spun her as she launched her right towards Han. Her foot connected with the man's chest, and while it staggered him a bit, he didn't do anything else as she flipped off him. "Look, brother, pretty pretties," said Joe. "I like pretty pretties," said Han, as the both of them laughed. The dogs and snakes were attacking, but it was like they were mosquitoes. The only thing that saved the crew was that they were faster. They leaped aside as the brothers brought their hand down, destroying the earth in front of them, as Uncle flashed through hand signs as she took a deep breath. Fire style, dragon flame technique. As the fire rushed towards the Bash brothers, Uncle smiled as they were struck by the fires. "I hope you like your idiot, well done," Uncle said, as she watches the fire burn them. "Meanwhile, I'm impressed, Brad," said Mizuki, as he dodged a kunai that came towards him. As Mizuki launched himself right towards Naruto as Naruto blocked the kick, Mizuki kicked off Naruto as he flipped away, as he pulled out a Fuma shuriken and launched it, as Naruto ducked under the thing. Before he whirled around as Mizuki flashed in front of him, his foot raised high up in the air, as Naruto got up and slapped him back, causing the man to stumble. Mizuki flashed through hand signs, seeing Naruto coming close to him. "Earth style, earth spikes," he said. Naruto flipped back as the ground was erupted with spikes and rock. "Not bad," said Naruto, "but not good enough." As a dozen clones poof into existence, without him even raising a hand sign. "How the hell did you do that? You didn't even use hand signs," said Mizuki. "Get him," said Naruto. One of the clones grabbed another one and spun him by his leg and arm, as he sent him sailing towards Mizuki. Mizuki ducked only for a feet to slam into his face, launching him up in the air. Another clone used another clone as a springboard, as a kick slammed into Mizuki's stomach. He was hit further up into mid-air, as 4 clones grabbed onto his hand, as he twisted him as another one flashed above them, the real Naruto switching place with him at the right moment, before he dropped his knee into Mizuki's stomach. The man coughed up blood as he was sent spiraling. He crashed into the ground as he rolled. The clones poofed away as Naruto landed right above Mizuki, as he looked down towards the man, who was out cold. "I told you," said Naruto, as he heard the explosion. Shit, as he vanished. Meanwhile, Anko was pissed. One of her bitter fight jutsu did not work on the man. It only burned their clothing. Hannah and her dogs had tried for the Fang over fist combo, but that had no effect. The girls were getting frustrated as Naruto appeared, landing right on Cho's shoulder. "Pardon me," said Naruto, as he had a steel bat in his hand, created from alchemy. As he brought it down, Naruto vanished as the bat exploded on the man's head. As he reappeared beside Anko, damn, they got rocked for brains. The side of Cho's head was scorched and bleeding from the ear going down. But still, he did not fall over. "Where's Mizuki?" Hannah said. "He's become one with the canyon," said Naruto, as the girls looked back to see Mizuki implanted in the rock. "Any ideas how to take the ugly twins down?" "Nope," said Uncle. "It seems like they can't even feel pain, with how high they are in sin. I mean, look what you did to him." And he's laughing. "You're up, kid," Uncle said, as Naruto looked towards the 2 brothers who tried to charge forward. "Alright then," said Naruto. "My turn." He slammed his hand together before slamming it on the ground. Hundreds of suits of armors appeared around him. Time skip. The Envoy squad caught up hours later, as they found Naruto sitting on top of a cage, with the Batch brothers inside, and Mizuki as well. "Sir, a gopher," Mass Envoy said, saluting Naruto. "Hey, I think you all lost something," said Naruto. "Yes, we picked their trail up." "How?" "Military secret," said Naruto. The envoys nodded as they saw Anko and Hannah coming back from the village with several orders of food. "Ah, dinner time. Come on, Ed. The envoys can deal with this," said Naruto as he hopped off the cage. As he looked towards the Bash brothers, "Now you both will behave for the envoys and not cause them any trouble, right?" "We'll be good," said Han. "We'll go to prison and be good," said Cho. As Naruto nodded, "Careful with Mizuki. I think I broke his hip," said Naruto, as he joined the 2 girls. "That was fun," Hannah said. "I brought you 2 bowls of ramen, but Heibachi said that you need to eat fruit as well," Uncle said. Naruto groaned. "Ebachi-bachan is so mean," he said, as he took the bowls. "She only allows me so much ramen for a week." Uncle snorted. "That's because you're so short," she said. "I mean, hell, the only one shorter than you is that chibi plush toy that you call a companion." Hannah sighed as Ed launched himself towards Uncle, as Hannah had to grab Naruto and hold him back from attacking Uncle as well, as the two were really sensitive when it comes towards their height. The Envus watched a special unit, many of them sweat dropping under their masks, as the group heard Uncle yell, "Not there! Call off the damn furball!" Uncle yelled, as Naruto smiled. Time skip Konoha. Well, here's your pay. We never thought it would be the Bash brothers involved, said Hiruzen as Naruto stood in front of him. The last 8 years has matured Naruto in ways that Hiruzen never thought of. While Ibiki can find their roots in distributing sin, we will close it down before it comes to Konoha in full force. As Naruto nodded, "You coming for dinner tonight?" Hiruzen asked. "Can," said Naruto. Hannah said that her mother want me and uncle there tonight. Kiba passed his genin exams, and you know how the Inuzakas love to party. As Sarutobi smiled, he was happy that Naruto has found acceptance with the families, and that he had made some friends his own age. "And you thought the three of you teach at the academy wouldn't have been recognized," said Hiruzen, as Naruto growled. "I still don't think that the Uchiha brat should be allowed in the field. Did you read the psychology reports from Inoichi Yamanaka?" Sarutobi sighed. Naruto and his team was first on the scene, as they nearly caught Itachi Uchiha when he committed the Uchiha massacre, as Naruto had held back in fear of the Sharingan, copying his abilities, as he still wasn't certain that he could not. As he had saw Itachi himself on a mission, copying Akira ninja fighting style down to the chakra enhancements, everything perfectly with those eyes of his. "So, you taking a peer on?" Hiruzen asked. "Hell no, old man," said Naruto. "Besides, that would waste my team's skills." "Explain your reasoning," Hiruzen asked. "We would be stuck training fresh genins, and we wouldn't be able to perform our investigations. Hell, if a genin was with us on this last one, they would have been dead. The Bash brothers are solid as a mountain. You gotta admit, old man, we don't do safe missions. Hell, we had that mission last month to the Hidden Stone. Let me tell you, they fear my father, but I put a whole new fear into them," said Naruto. Naruto's reputation as Konoha Full Metal Alchemy Fox has spread over the last 8 years. His squad liberation of the Land of Snow last year was still the talk of the council meeting, and a representative asked, on behalf of the princess from the Land of Snow, when Naruto will be returning if he was able. "And if we hadn't chased Orochimaru out of the rice, you would have bet his scheme for the hidden village would have been rather troublesome," said Naruto. Sarutobi had to agree with that. Another accomplishment. After a year on the team, Naruto was able to remove the cursed seal off Anko. Hibachi had laughed as Anko had kissed Naruto so hard that the blonde had passed out. It wasn't the kiss that made him pass out, as Anko was topless at the moment because the seal spread all the way down her back, so he had to examine it fully. And when he removed it, she had literally launched herself towards him, her chest hitting him rather full force, and blood had spurted out of his nose, and he lost all sense of control and passed out. "Be that as it may, I have an odd number of students, and I think your squad will benefit from these too." "Who?" said Naruto. Hiruzen slipped the files over the decks, as Naruto looked at them, before he snapped his eyes up towards the old man. "You gotta be shitting me," he said. Time skip. Hannah and Uncle met Naruto at the Dango stand. He was not smiling and his mood seemed rather down as he slipped the pay vouchers towards them. As he took it, "What's wrong, Naruto?" Hannah asked. "Yeah, you should be happy. We have an Inuzaka party to go to tonight." As Naruto steal Uncle's cig as he chugged it from the jug. "The old man has a new assignment for us." "What? Already?" Hannah said, surprised. "Yeah, usually. We get a week off," said Uncle. "Did Ibiki get something from Mizuki or the Bash brothers?" asked Hannah. "No, not yet." "And if he does, it's going to envoy to the wit," said Naruto. "Well, what the hell's the mission then?" Uncle asked. "The old man wants us to take on 2 graduating genins and add them to our team." "Is that all?" the both of them asked, as Naruto pulled out the files and slipped them across the table. As Uncle looked at them. "You gotta be shitting me." "No," said Naruto. "What did you tell him?" Hannah asked. "That I would talk to you both first. We have until team placements at the end of the week to decide. What do you think?" "Hell no," Uncle said. "Can we pick someone else?" Hannah asked. "Asuma wants the Inashikocho team. Kurenai has demanded Hinata Hayuka. That leaves us. Shino Aberami, your brother, Kiba, Sakura Haruno, and the Uchiha. Tell him no, besides, the council want Kakashi to train the emo bitch boy, Uncle said. I agree, said Naruto, but the old man feels we would be a better fit for him. Hana and Uncle shared a look. We can't trust him, and once his eye activate, none of our personal skills would be safe. Naruto nodded. There had been many times in the last couple of years before the murdering of his family that Itachi had followed them around and watched them. I know. The last thing we need is that Uchiha learn about alchemy. Hana nodded. It's bad enough what we found in Rice. Orochimaru has a very basic concept if he ever learn your secrets. As both girls knew, seeing that they watched Naruto study and train over the years, as they knew some of the things that he could do. And the second one, said Uncle. Well, the old man hinted that Kurna was eyeing Shino and Kiba for her team. Too much specialization, said Uncle. Asuma should break up the Inashikacho idea. Too many people know their pattern, thanks to their fathers being famous. Hana sighed. We're going to get stuck with this, aren't we, she said. We'll figure out something else, said Naruto. We have a week to do so. If we phrase it right, we could get 2 Genins of our choice. As Uncle shook her head, I don't want to be around the Uchiha brat, period. And my mind is not changing on that. Me either, said Naruto, as he closed the file. Time skip. I hate Mondays, said Naruto as he groaned. And I hate hangovers even more. As he used his metal arm to cover his eyes, he blinked as he realized he was not in his bed, as an arm and a leg was draped over him. As he heard moaning, a soft feminine moaning, as he tensed, as Naruto slowly turned his head. Oh my God. As Naruto saw a very naked Inuzaka matriarch. Hana is gonna kill me for this. I just know it, he thought to himself. As Tasumi slowly opened her eyes. Back to sleep, pup. Too early for more, she said. As Naruto really hoped that she prevented Hana from killing him. Time skip. As Naruto sat in the kitchen, as Tasumi was smirking. Cradle robber, said Naruto. I rocked your world all night, didn't I, kiddo, she said. As Naruto blushed at that. You got nothing to be ashamed of, said Tasumi. They both turned to see Hana, strolling into the kitchen as she was wearing loose pants and a shirt too big for her. Her eyes were bloodshot. She looked like she just got up and threw on anything that she saw, which was true. Hana-chan, said Naruto. As Hana sniffed, Mother, you violated my teammate again. Well, you keep on letting him slip through your fingers, Tatsumi said. He's of age, and he's damn good at pleasing a woman. Mom, Hana said, looking green, as Tatsumi laughed, seeing her daughter blush, and Naruto matched her. If he keeps it up, you might end up calling him daddy, unless he does something on missions that already have you calling him that. Tatsumi laughed as both Naruto and her daughter fled the kitchen. As Naruto and Hana sat on the porch, both of them hissed at the bright thing in the sky, called the sun. As Naruto wished that he could somehow turn the sun down a few volumes. Well, I ended up in your mom's bed. You ended up in yours. I wonder where Uncle-chan ended up, said Naruto. Hana snorted. Kiba was hitting on her like there was no tomorrow. I think he's still pinned outside his wall, with kunais. As Naruto laughed at the mental image, he winked as his head throbbed in pain. Remind me why I get drunk here and end up in your mother's bed. Because for someone so smart, you can't drink for shit, Hana said. Silence reigned between the two before Hana spoke. Are you really worried that Uchiha could copy your alchemy, she said. The more I think about it, not really, said Naruto. Since I don't use hand signs and enche, it's different from chakra. I spent 3 nights in the library after the tournament learning about the Sharingan. I still don't want them learning anything I can do though. They can copy movement, and if they do that, they can learn about the alchemy circles and runes. And that will be troublesome, said Naruto. With Sasuke, the last one here in Konoha, I don't want to chance it. I've seen Itachi copy movements with those eyes of his. Hana nodded. I really don't want the Uchiha. Even though Kiba is my brother, I don't want him on my team either, she said. Do we really have to take a pair of Genins? No, but the old man hinted that it would be a favor to him. Hana snorted. I'd rather take Konohamaru and the friends. As Naruto smirked at that, his teammates had visited him one morning at the Hokage residence and phoned him babysitting the kids. They start the academy soon, said Naruto. I almost pity Haruka. No you don't, you're glad that he's teaching, and not us teaching again. True, said Naruto. The morning silence was broken by, damn it, Ed, bring that back here. As Ed came flying out of the dog door, as he was holding on to something in his mouth. As both Hana and Naruto sighed. Moments later, Uncle burst out the door, as she had a bedsheet wrapped around her, as she was holding on to a kunai. She's gonna skin him one of these days, Hana said. She's doing very well for being barefoot, and wearing a sheet, Hana said, watching her. Naruto was about to agree until Ed turned and started to rush towards them, as he leaped over their head. Sadly, Uncle Leap was messed up by the sheets as she crashed into Naruto, taking them down to the ground. Good morning, Uncle Chan, said Naruto, as Uncle looked down at him. I'm gonna skin that damn furball one of these days. He keeps on taking my fish net. As Hana looked down. What? Uncle said, as Uncle looked down as she realized what exactly she was sitting on. Oh really, Naruto-kun, she said, as she purred. I didn't know you thought of me like that. Laughter revealed Tatsumi at the door, as she was holding on the edge of her right hand, and the mesh in her left hand. Did you two lose something? As Naruto was unable to speak because Uncle was moving on him on purpose just to mess with him. Hana reached and grabbed Uncle by the ear and pulled her off Naruto. Get off him. He's been written once already, and we need to check out the runs at the academy. Uncle pouted, your mom always get there first. As both girls went in to get real dress. As Naruto was lying there, Tatsumi dropped Ed on his chest. They both care for you, you know that, runt. Yeah, said Naruto softly, ignoring the runt comment. He hates when people remind him about his shortness. And trust me, kiddo, when I say you can please both of them. If last night was just a peek of the show, as Naruto blushed, she went inside, laughing. Is it me, Ed? Or is all adults perverts, said Naruto. You're asking me, said Ed. I'm a millennia old, and a super pervert, said Naruto, as he grabbed Ed by his scruff and held him up. Stop peeking on Uncle and Hana, and stop stealing their clothes. As Ed looked abashed. Well, you won't let me go out and have fun, and that hag in there told me if I even look at one of their clan dogs, she would fry my nuts. Naruto sighed as he stood as he dropped Ed to the ground. I'll be back in a bit. As Naruto heard Tatsumi shouting at Kiba to treat girls with respect, as she took him off the wall as he was still pinned up there. And to think, she was so loud doing sex, said Naruto to himself. I so need more male friends, he thought to himself. Time skip. They didn't visit the academy, instead, they were exploring Uncle's favorite pastime. And knowing Ibiki, I'll pay you a S-rank mission to get her out of here, said Ibiki as Uncle tortured a hidden stone ninja they had captured. But she's having fun, said Naruto. As a man's scream filled the room. Look, she brought out her snake whip, Hana said, as it was a whip with 3 snake vipers on it. Uncle, said Naruto. What, she said. Why don't you let Ibiki have a nice moment with the stone ninja before you make him soil himself? Uncle pouted, as Ibiki made his way to speak to the ninja. If we get Chunin, can I torture them, Uncle asked. No, maybe, said Naruto. So we all agree we don't want to do Uchiha. Damn straight, they said. And none of the others say to well does as well. Correct. Then our only call is to tell the old man no, said Naruto. As Uncle bounced from foot to foot as he raised her hand. The bathroom is over there. As Naruto pointed as she slapped his hand away. No, not that. Tell him that we'll work with Kurenai's team once in a while, and maybe Asuma's team as well. Naruto nodded, yeah, and avoid the Uchiha and Hatake. Bingo! Now, what are we gonna do for the rest of the week? Hana shrugged. We can continue working on the apartment. I'm sick of sleeping at mom's. I'm sick of sleeping at your mom's as well, Uncle said, as she was kicked out of her apartment when she had threatened the building manager for disrespecting her teammate, but she never told either of them. I was thinking on working on my den a bit, said Naruto. No, no way. You were allowed to sewer home for a while, but this is bullshit. You have a room at the apartment. As she paused, or is it that you want to slip into Tasumi's room more often? As Hana chased Uncle down the street after she started making those comments. You know, I never think I'll understand women, and from Ed memories, neither did he. And he lived for so long. As Naruto sighs, he followed the pair. But guys, be in subscribe right here, If you want to see sports and do like, subscribe, comment down below and turn on the bell notifications be posted. Remember share to all of your friends and social media platform. And also guys, stay tuned for there's what ifs coming your way over Anime King 2 and Anime King 3. If you're new, yes, you heard that correctly. Indeed, have 3 channels: Anime King 2, Anime King 3, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. Thank you all for your help and your support, and yeah, without further ado, what do you say we get the hell out of here? See you guys soon, stay tuned and enjoy.